Friends, when your ego overtakes your reasoning, things like this happen. It is not new with Richard Dawkins or any of those atheists who hammer down their logic and their way of thinking onto normal people and assume that they are pushing in reasoning. No, they are actually perverting the normal thinking of any human. Listen to this and then we will continue.
Whom I shall be talking to next week. Now, it is very mysterious how the universe came into being. It's a deeply mysterious and interesting question.
And can I just interrupt? It's an old question, a very old question. Thomas Aquinas in the 13th century was asking this same question. He said there must have been a time when no physical things existed, but something can't come from nothing. That was his view. It's just been repeated by us.
Something can come from nothing, and that's what physicists are now telling us. I could give you, you asked me to give you a layman's interpretation. It would be a very, very layman's interpretation. When you have matter and antimatter and you put them together, they cancel each other out and give rise to nothing. What Lawrence Krauss is now suggesting is that if you start with nothing, the process can go into reverse and produce matter and antimatter. The theory is still being worked out.
Well, there are many troubles with Richard's teachings, but a fundamental one is that he dumbs down God and he soups up nothing.
You can quickly respond to that.
You can dispute exactly what's meant by nothing, but whatever it is, it's very, very simple. And why is that funny?
Well, I think it's a bit funny to be trying to define nothing.
Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to a new episode of Indian Christian. We will discuss about certain nonsensical things which is propagated by atheism. Atheism doesn't fit human common sense, and also it actually leads to a very perverted society. On a long run, the atheism is very dangerous. On a short run, we suffer certain aspects of atheism, we try to argue with them or we try to debate with them, but then cultivating that kind of mindset and creating a society based on atheism is doing no good to any society. Let's get into it. Let me start with one interesting comment that was put under the previous video. So it reads this way: don't you think there is a difference between the universe and speaker? You think everything has to have a creator, but why? Why can't something just be there on its own? For example, did we create the earth we live on? It was formed by gravity, which is a law in our universe. That doesn't necessarily mean someone has to create the law for it to exist. Some laws can be created because our system required it to work, or it wouldn't be possible. Very interesting comment. Let's read it from backwards. He says, some laws can be created. If there is a creation, there has to be a creator. It's as simple as that. Nothing comes to an existence by itself. Nothing comes to an existence. You sit in a chair and just don't do anything. Observe things, whether something comes to an existence by itself. It doesn't. By the law of thermodynamics, something can break down, but no new creation can happen by itself. That is how it is. And now you are saying that the law has to be created. It is a very important thing which you said. The law has to be created. But who has to create? Someone. Someone who has a mind. It doesn't get created by itself. And that mind or that someone is whom I call as God. You may ask me, then you define God. I cannot entirely define God because God is truly incomprehensible, just as I said earlier. What I can do is, most probably, give some attributes about God, and then try to say that these things can happen because God did it. That is only how I can do that. There is no way, if anybody can try to define God, it will be an incomplete definition. That's it. I'm not trying to say that whatever he says is wrong, but it's mostly an incomplete definition. That's it. So, you yourself are saying that the law has to be created, and you are telling a part of the truth. For example, every atheist has a thinking that the matter came first. But that is not how atheists think. Atheist always thinks that the mind came first. You have to decide for yourself what came first, the mind or the matter. The theist always says that the mind came first and then the mind created matter, or matter came after the mind. But what does the atheist says? Just like how you have been inferring, why can't it be on their own? You're assuming that the matter came first. No, the matter did not come first. The mind came first. That is why we have a reason to say that the law of gravity, every law of physics, every law of mathematics gets applied to our expanse of the universe. That is how the sustainability of the universe works. If it doesn't work, then the universe wouldn't sustain for one single second. It will just blast off and finish off. There are forces in this universe which is being worked, and that is depending upon the law which was created by a mind. I agree with you completely that there is a law which is created, but you don't want to attribute that creation of the law to a creator. How ridiculous it could be, my friend. Putting the cart before the horse would not work, my friend. The horse has to be before the cart, and then only the cart will move. The horse will pull the cart. Otherwise, the cart will remain there, and probably the horse will be wondering, what am I going to do with this cart? You have to start with the right order, the mind and then the matter. I hope you understood it. Let me a little bit more elaborate about your gravity problem. We know Earth has a gravity, but you know what happens if the Earth was a slightly smaller planet or slightly bigger planet than Earth is vis-a-vis the Sun and the other planetary cosmic objects. If the Earth was a bigger planet, what would have happened is that it would have even more stronger gravity. And even more stronger gravity would mean that life in earth would be miserable for the simple reason that plants would fall like that thud every time, especially the bigger the trees, it will keep falling all over. You cannot build anything, and you will have weight which is so huge that I cannot stand from my chair. That level of weight it will happen. You understand that point? And if it is lighter, what would happen? The oxygen, nitrogen, everything will escape the atmosphere. And what else? We will be attracted more closer to the sun, and then the sun would burn us up. There are a lot of negative attributes which would have happened. You know, the universe entirely is fine-tuned to a very minute level. And that is what you need to understand. You think that it just came by random chance? Impossible. That is what I'm telling you. Impossible. Let me cite you a small example, and then you will probably understand why I am telling that the theory of evolution or this random chance which you guys are propagating is an impossibility. Let's get into that. Now, you might have noted in certain beaches, certain people write something on the sands, and it could be their own personal messages or whatever it is. And what happens is that after some time, a wave comes and rubs it off and goes. Now, you suppose you come to a beach and then you see a writing which says that John loves Mary, written nicely with that heart symbol and all those things. And well, what do you think first? Did it come out of the sand like that, and some automatically there was a depression created by the forces of nature to write John loves Mary? Would you by any chance say that? I suppose if you are having the least of the common sense, you will never say that. You will say somebody would have written, probably John wrote, probably Mary wrote, or somebody else. You will come to a conclusion that yes, there is an intelligence behind that writing, even though you do not know who exactly wrote it. I hope that is your scenario. If that is not your scenario, I'm sorry for you, my friend. I'm sorry. Now consider that you just take a stroll and come back to the same place where you saw that John loves Mary, and it's written John and Mary got married on December 21st, 1997. It just was written. What would you think? Would you think that it again came by itself? Or maybe, there are absurdity, levels of absurdity. People can go, they can say that the sea waves came and wrote it and then went away. You can go ahead and say that is a chance as well. According to your definition, there is a possibility. Maybe the sea brought some set of stones and using that stone, it just wrote and it happened. Would you not think that way? But then also remember that the earlier comment of John loves Mary is not removed. Because when the sea comes in, it has to, by the very nature, it just removes whatever is written. But in this case, it is on the next line, it says that John married Mary in December 21st, 1997. I'm just giving an arbitrary date. There is no John or Mary whom I'm thinking about. But then what happens? It again goes on to say, take a stroll, come back and say that John and Mary has 3 children. Well, what is the chance that it is caused by a chance of randomness as you guys believe? Tell me. To a person with the minimal common sense, he will say that it is written by an intelligent person who has some information about the supposed John and Mary. Would you think or not? Tell me that. Now, let me take you to a different scenario. There is something called human genome. My genes, your genes, everybody's genes. Do you know how many characters it has? One genome string has 3.5 billion characters of information, true information. No tampering with that information. Even the slightest tampering of that information would cause catastrophe in the life of that person. But then 3.5 billion characters of information in one genome string. And what is the chance that it can happen without an intelligent being writing into it? Tell me. I'm waiting for answer from you, my friend. I'm waiting for your answer. To any commonsensical person, it's for sure an intelligence is applied over that genome string, which is the character of everybody. I mean, it's mine, your, everybody's details is written into that genome string. And you're saying it's chance? Good luck. Let me show you one nice, funny example to make you understand what is the matter of chance in this thing. Okay, I hope you know who is Shakespeare. Shakespeare is basically a playwright, poet, writer, author, whatever you can tell him. So he's famous for his plays, which is written just like you might have heard Macbeth or Merchant of Venice, all those plays he has written. So I do one thing, I do a small experiment. I get a million monkeys and place them before the typewriters and ask them to punch in all those characters which they like. A million monkeys. And 24 bar 7, they're continuing it for years together. They're punching it. What is the probability that one or a collation of all of their details would ever give you one play of Shakespeare? What is the probability? Have you ever thought about it? Zero. For the mathematical probability equation, somebody may say it is 1 in a million or 1 in a 50 million times. But that doesn't make sense. It's just like, there is this other drama where a girl wants to say that, no, I don't want to marry you. And he is saying, but still tell me, what is the chance that I will marry you? She is just thinking, no, it's not a possibility. No, no, but still you tell me that what is the chance? And she says, 1 in a million. And that guy is quite excited. He's saying, wow, that means I have a chance. And the joy of that man is so huge. Not knowing what she is saying is basically is not possible. But unfortunately, our storytellers of the theory of evolution and the chance people, they say that, well, there is a chance, so we believe in that chance. Listen to this funny clip.
I want to ask you a question straight out, flat out. I want you to give me the honest answer. What do you think the chances are of a guy like you and a girl like me ending up together?
Well, Lloyd, that's difficult to say. We really don't.
Hit me with it. Just give it to me straight. I came a long way just to see you married. Just least you can do is level with me. What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of a million.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah! I read you.
There is this a new way of thinking among atheists, which they say that they don't appeal to a higher person or higher intelligent being for their morality. And when I kind of watched one of Vimo's video, he says that morality is not because of higher moral being, but rather it's more of an agreement in the society to keep the society intact. If we kind of kill each other mutually, then there is a destruction of the society. So it's more like a contractual or unsigned contractual going to set up between the people of the society, and that is the reason why there is a morality in the society. Well, that is good if the society is basically good. But if the society is bad, that will deteriorate even further. There is no resistance to immorality in that sense. For example, in the Nazi Germany, the societal construct was such that if you happen to know a Jew or see a Jew, you are expected to give the information to the Nazi police. That is the societal construct. And the police will come and take the Jew away and, put them in gas chamber and kill them off. And an atheist in that life of Germany, the old Germany of Nazi, he would be pretty comfortable. He would not have a problem of conscience because he is doing what the society is expected from you to do. Is not that true? In the atheist worldview, there is no morality. And their morality is basically agreement between members of the society or unsaid agreement between the members of the society. And that is the reason why in the United States, there is this two group. One is pro-choice and the other is pro-life. The pro-life is filled with Christians who would go to the extreme to stop the abortion of a baby. But the pro-choice is filled with atheists and liberals and the left-leaning fellows who would say that the woman has the choice over her body and hence she can go ahead and abort as she will. So this is a great debate happening there. And you can see the basic groupism which is in the pro-choice. It's maximum atheist, left-leaning liberals. And in the pro-life, it's maximum conservative Christians. There's no doubt about it. But then you might say that, okay, there are few atheists in the pro-life and there are few Christians in the pro-choice. Well, those are all exceptions. I have even listened to certain kind of interviews of the pro-life atheists. And the reason is that, oh, when I went to the scanning center, I saw my baby's little legs, and I thought that maybe I will not do the abortion. Well, the motherly instinct hiked in them and they stopped the killing, which is a godly phenomena on human mothers. But then generally, people are animals. They don't consider the baby in their womb as a human. They think it's an inconvenience. And if it's an inconvenience, you better kill them. And what is that? That is murder. That is nothing more than murder. And they conveniently call this baby child as fetus or some random names which doesn't give that child the individuality of an individual. Why don't you call that baby as my baby? I killed my baby. Will they say? No, because that hurts their conscience. So the atheist can go to any level to do any kinds of evil things and justify it. But that is not with a Christian who has a higher authority of morality to appeal to. They cannot do certain things because they will be held accountable by that higher being. So, in the question of morality, the atheists are not better than the animals. Because in the atheist worldview, the death of a person means nothing. To them, it's just matter. Some biological matter which just was living is no more living. And they always take science as the reason. And scientifically, okay, it was living, it got dead. That's it, nothing more. One funny thing that I have noted when watching the videos of certain atheists, and that applies even to Mr. Vimo, it's that they kind of put all religion into one bracket and kind of make it sound evil. For what reason? Because they all believe the existence of God. Well, we all have rights and wrong as per our understanding and our investigation, whatever it is. But to brand the entire religious scriptures as right and wrong and cherry pick certain verses out of context and try to show that, well, your religion is as bad as theirs, your religion is as bad as theirs, but they don't really see the whole picture of what this person or what this religion is saying. And I'm not trying to advocate one religion against another religion. But basically, I'm asking you to do an investigation about what certain people are doing, to put all religion into one group. And for Mr. Vimo's credit, what he does is that he puts a tiny slot called Abrahamic and Indic. That doesn't work because morality and the relationship with God should not be actually based through the religion. Why would God need a human construct as religion to get to know Him? I don't believe that way. So, for that, that's a totally different episode. But till then, may the good Lord bless you and keep you. Bye for now.